guys, I'm Katie. This is Nova. He just came in. I am gonna start talking about being a nanny and all my nanny experience and kind of, I don't know, I just wanna talk to other nannies and talk about being a nanny and, everything, yeah. I have to show you this. So, I'm doing laundry today, and this is the piles. But I'm going to totally use them to prop you up so I don't have to hold you the whole time. Let's see if I can do this. Okay. Alright. I've never done a video like this, so this is new to me. Okay, I think I got it. Okay. Sorry, I'm kind of putting myself behind me. Oh, my other little baby. My nail bell's up here now. Okay, so I'm just going to talk today about, my experiences and, who I've nannied and how long I've nannied. I think I've nannied, 7 years or something now. It's been a really long time. I started nannying when I was in college. I went to St. Cloud State, and I was studying early childhood education, and that's when I started nannying. And I started nannying 3 little girls up there, and that is when I fell in love with nannying. I realized, the relationships you build, with those kids and the parents, and you become a part of the family. It's so much more than just watching kids. You actually become, a part. You become, an extension of the family, and it's really nice, and it's a really good feeling, and part of me maybe loved it so much because I was away from my family, and I was up, far away at school, and it was a way for me to make connections with a family-like environment, but anyway, those kids are amazing. I watched 3 little girls, Claire, Gracie, and Ava, and they were really tiny when I started. Now they're so much bigger, but when I started, I think Claire was 1. She wasn't talking or walking yet. She was tiny. Well, she still is tiny. She's a little peanut, but yeah, she wasn't walking yet. She wasn't talking yet, but she was very hesitant of me when I started. She was kind of hesitant of any new person, any stranger or anything. I remember my first day, she was sitting in her high chair, and her mom was leaving for work. Her dad had already left, and her mom left, and she had some Cheerios on her tray in her high chair and stuff, and she was kind of looking at me and taking one and looking at me, and she wouldn't make eye contact. It was a serious thing, but we grew to love each other. She did grow to love me. It took a little while, but she did. It took a little while for her to warm up, but she's the sweetest, silliest kid now. She will do anything to make anyone laugh. It is hilarious. And then there's Gracie, who is sweet as pie. She, and these girls are all a year, 2 years apart. So they were all pretty little when I started. And yeah, she is the sweetest kid you will ever meet. She is sweet as pie. And then there's Ava, who's so smart. Really too smart for her own good. She's super smart. Yeah, I don't know. She's a really good kid. I went and visited them and spent a week, or 10 days with them, last year, and they all have grown so much, and they're just like these really beautiful, smart, silly kids. Like, they're so well-rounded, and yeah, it was a lot of fun to get time with them. But yeah, so those were my first nanny kids, and they are why I fell in love with nannying, 100%. They are the reason I am still a nanny today. Then I moved. I moved like an hour away from there, and so I quit, and when I quit, their mom, she told me she was going to become a stay-at-home mom, and I was like so excited. That is like the best thing that could ever happen. Like, any mom or dad that wants to stay at home with their kids, quit their job and stay at home, like, it doesn't get much better than that. Like, that attention and that love, like, that's amazing. I was so excited for that to happen, for those girls and for her, for the mom. Like, that is just it's a beautiful thing. And then, so I moved and I started watching this little girl named Lola. My little Lola. She was like 2 or 3 months when I started watching her. And she was a only child. Now she has a little sister, but she was an only child at the time. And yeah, I watched her till she was a little over a year. I stayed at my St. Cloud family, or when I was in St. Cloud, I stayed with them for about a year too. And then I moved and watched Lola for about a year. And she was just itty bitty she is just this little peanut. Like, she never got very big. Like, she's still this little peanut. Like, she's a very petite little kid. She's so cute and so sweet. Like, even her little voice and her little, just everything. And she, yeah, she loves her, like, her princess dresses, and, you know, she loves that kind of stuff. She's so sweet. And now she has a little sister, and she seems like a very good big sister. I've gone back, I visited her a few times since I quit watching her, but, yeah, she's cute, and her sister is cute. Her sister reminds me so much of her when she was little, and yeah, they're super sweet. And then, they actually moved now like a couple hours away, so I probably won't see them anytime soon, but I watched her for a little over a year, and while I was watching her, I started watching 2 kids after school. So after I was done watching her, I would go pick them up from the bus stop or from school, and then I would watch them for just a couple hours every night after school. And their names were Morgan and Riley, and they were very good kids. And yeah, they had a puppy, and yeah, I didn't get to spend too much time with them. Like, I was only with them for a few months, but they were really, really good kids, really sweet kids. And they were both school age, so it was different. Like, we would do outdoor activities and a lot more, and, you know, games and stuff like that, and it was really fun. And then after that, I moved another hour in a different direction back home to my parents' house, and I lived there and watched 2 little girls, Sophie and Lainey, and they were like, I want to say like 2 and 4 when I started, something like that age range. I'm really bad at remembering ages. None of them are these ages anymore, so that's why I can't remember, but Sophie is super sweet, just these big brown eyes, and such a girly girl, but she's like a little bit feisty too. Like, she likes like dragons and stuff like that. And then there's Lainey, who's like this spunky little thing. Like, just this little firecracker. She just surprises you all the time with stuff she says, and they're both so cute. And yeah, and their parents both worked from home, so they were there with me every day, all day. Sometimes they would run errands and stuff, but usually there was one there. Like, rarely ever was there no one there. So that was kind of different and kind of nice. It was different because I went from, all my nanny families were very, very different. I would go from some that were like my first nanny family, they like let me use, they had a truck just for me to use with the girls. Like, they were like, go, bring them here, bring them there, like, go to the library, go to the zoo, go to the park, like, please get them out of the house, take them wherever you want, like, just let us know. Then I had families like my one that I just talked about, where they worked from home. I couldn't drive the kids anywhere. I couldn't go anywhere. We walked to, like, the park, and we walked to the library. But yeah, I wasn't allowed to drive them anywhere. The parents would drive us sometimes places, but not too often. But we would go, like, out to lunch with their mom and stuff, and that was one of my favorite things. Like, just going out, socializing, like, having lunch. Like, I don't know. I got really close to their mom. She's pretty awesome. So it was cool. It was different. It was a different experience. And then I moved for the summer, like, an hour a different direction to Wisconsin, and I lived with my brother and his wife and their 3 kids. And I nannied their 3 kids over the summer. And they have 2 that are, like, in school, and then 1 that is a little bit younger. And so it was a really good experience. I hands down, one of the best decisions I've ever made. Moving there for the summer, quitting my job, putting my life on hold, like, just getting away, going there, spending that time with them. I got really close with those kids, and I got to, like, they live an hour away, so I didn't get to see them all the time, like, every week, anything like that. So moving in with them and living with them for 3 months and, like, taking care of them every day when their parents were at work was a big change, and it was really a blessing. It was like I got to grow closer to those kids, and I got to spend time with my brother and my sister-in-law, and, you know, it was really nice. It was a good experience, and it was fun to get that time. Again, I didn't spend, like, I guess I didn't spend that much time with my brother and sister-in-law when I lived there because they were at work all day, but nights and stuff I got to visit with them. But I got to spend a lot of time with my niece and my 2 nephews, and that was really cool. Like, not many people get to do, you know, just drop everything and go and do that. So I'm blessed that I got that experience, and it was a lot of fun. It wasn't like a job. It wasn't like I was working. It was like I was hanging out with my nieces and nephews and hanging out with my family. Like, it didn't feel like a job. So it was kind of cool. Kind of weird, but kind of cool. And yeah, it was nice. And then after the summer was over, the 2 older ones went to school, and then the little one went to daycare. They just had him go to daycare with a stay-at-home mom. She had a son his age, and so he got to go and play with him and be there during the days that my sister-in-law would work and my brother was working. So yeah, it was kind of cool. Then after that, I went back. When I moved back with my parents, I went back to watching Sophie and Lainey again, and I watched them for about 6 months. Actually, I think it was like exactly 6 months. When I moved back, I said, you know, I'd love to come back, but I can only give a 6-month, like, promise, because after that, I might move in with my boyfriend at the time, Mike. So yeah, now I live with him. Now he's my husband. But yeah, so they were cool with that. They were like, yeah, we want you back. So it was really nice. It was very welcoming to be wanted back. And then I was there for 6 months, and then me and Mike decided to take the next step and move in together. So I moved an hour away, so I had to quit that job, and I got a job working close to where I live now, watching 2 little ones that I currently watch. I've been with them for over a year now. Their names are Ella and Jude, and they are 2 of my favorite people in the whole world. Jude is like, he was so hesitant of me at first. Like, he was like, who are you? What are you doing here? Like, I'm not agreeing to this. He like wouldn't make eye contact with me. He wouldn't look at me for like the first week I was there. But he warmed up to me after that, and he's hilarious. He makes the cutest faces. And then there's Ella, who, they're both super smart and awesome kids. And Ella is like a little princess. She loves everything girly. Dresses, and like, she's all about layers. She will wear dresses and jewels, and she wants her nails painted, she wants her makeup, she wants all of it. She's a princess. She talks about all her fairy tales, her Prince Charming. They're both really, really good, really smart kids. Like, they're just amazing. Ella's like the social butterfly who's like, I love everybody and everything, and let's be best friends, and let's run away together, and da da da, let's play. And then there's Jude, who's kind of like, I don't know about you guys. But he warms up, and he's coming out of his shell a lot lately, and it's cool. It's cool to watch. All these kids, I watched like a year at a time. I think my jobs average about a year, and then, I move on or the family moves on. So it's crazy how much kids change in a year, and it's really cool that I get to be a part of it, and I get to watch it, and I get to experience it, and I get to look back, and I get to have all those memories. Like, when they're growing up, they just think like, oh, I remember when we did that, and I remember when we did that, and I'm in those memories. I'm in those memories of them, like, every day-to-day growing up, and it's really cool. And, like, sometimes I think, like, a lot of times I think, they don't remember certain things, but then you get shocked, and you're like, wow, you remember, like, that happened? Like, that is crazy to me. Like, I didn't expect you to remember that. You were very little. And so, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool, and it's kind of cool, like, I just said cool a lot, but it's a different experience, because you get to form all these memories, and whether they have them or remember them, you do, and you were a part of that, and you helped them achieve these goals, and you helped them learn this skill, and you worked with them on the things they struggled with, and yeah, it's just really cool. I can't explain, like, how almost like magical, sounds weird, but it is to be a nanny. And I think you either love it or it's not for you. I don't think there's like an in-between. I think you shouldn't do it if there's an in-between. I think you either have a passion for it, and it's something that you feel really strongly about, or I feel like it's not for you and you shouldn't do it. I just don't think there's an in-between. I think you either know it or you don't, and I 100% love it and love every day. Some days are hard, don't get me wrong, but you still walk away at the end of the day like, this is where I should be. This is where I need to be. This is where I wouldn't trade it ever for anything. Yeah. So I just wanted to start out by telling you guys about my nannying experiences and my, just kind of my history, my nanny history. And I don't know, I'm excited to start this little channel or blog or whatever. I don't even know what it's called. I don't know anything about this stuff, but I'm excited to start this and start like sharing ideas and sharing, you know, talking about what it is like to be a nanny. And yeah, so I love you guys, and this was fun.